morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Iyori Folarin. Today I thought we'd look at the university sector and the fact that the non-teaching staff, the non-academic staff, following a 5-day warning strike, have actually, commenced the strike. Now, this is going to be bad news for the university systems. And I have with me here two members that can shed light on the subject of the whole body of non-teaching staff of universities. There's Comrade Sesi, well, if you were to give her a full title, Comrade Funmi Agnes Sesi, JP. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Chairman, Political Committee of NLC, Lagos State Council.
Yeah, sure.
And also the immediate past chair of the Senior Staff Association of Nigeria's SANU, that is Union, LASU branch. Senior Staff Union, SSANU, Senior Staff Union. Now, there are three unions involved in this imbroglio, perhaps. There's the National Association of Academic Technologists, NAT. Then there's NASU, Non-Academic Staff Union, and SANU, Senior Staff Union of the universities. Now, the whole beef is the non-implementation of the 2009 agreement that the federal government had with you. And the way this thing has been phrased, let me start with you, if I could, Comrade, I beg your pardon, Comrade Odusonwo.
Shegun.
Comrade Odusonwo. So what are the key parts? Because it's not as if since that agreement nothing has been done. You probably want it completed. Government has not been able to complete. So government has met you halfway, right?
I will not say government has met us halfway, because if I want to rate what they have, the little they have done now, maybe about 40–45%, not even up to half.
Okay.
And the major thing that is needed, everybody knows the condition of this country as at now. Is the end allowances, which cross across all the unions on campus. And that is why where government has been dragging foot since 2009.
Okay. Now I'm going to come back to you because we have a fair bit of time. Now, Comrade Sesi, these earned allowances that are outstanding, haven't been paid, earned from when? From the 2009 when government had this agreement with you and freely entered into the agreement as the union has phrased it, or earned up to 2009?
In fact, there has been an accrued allowances that government is supposed to have paid to us.
Okay.
But we freely, and government also entered into agreement. They were the one that set up the committee led by then Pa Gamalel Onosode. Also another committee by this man, Babalaki. So, two committees that government set up with the involvement of all the unions in the university system, ASU, SANU, NAT, and NASU. We all look at the angles where we believe government should improve on, and we all agreed. Government signed their own part, and they said they are going to fulfill the agreement. We call it federal government different unions agreement of 2009, and it was even agreed that every three years this agreement will be reviewed. Up to this moment that I'm talking to you, most of the universities have not even done fulfilled half of this agreement. While some universities are trying, but most of the university, more than 80% of the university in Nigeria, they are far from fulfilling this agreement. And most of the universities that are culpable are even federal government universities. The money government is claiming that the program and the take into university is going down the drain, particularly because of the corruption that has been embedded in the system. Within the university system, and that is part of the agreement as well, that the governance in the university and the vice chancellors to be appointed should be those ones that have the administrative technical knowledge or experiences. Most of them, they lack this administrative technical experiences.
Okay. Just to put this in perspective a bit, when you look at this whole thing, Comrade Odusonwo, you said you'd want government to do more, but they have done something. It's not as if they just sat down with you, agreed these things, and then went off on their merry way. They have done something. What are those things that clearly you think are inadequate that have been done? And while you're at it, maybe you'll tell me also what the disposition of the current Minister of Labour is. After all of this started before he came into office.
I think we have to look at it from the angle that government is continuous. Whether if by the time this government came into power, the previous government left billions of naira, they are going to spend the money. So if the other previous government, yes, if they leave anything undone, when this government comes in, yes, they should try and pick up from there. Yeah. They have not been doing anything. And you see, this Senior Staff Association of Nigerian University has been the most gentle union on the campus, because we are parents. We have our children everywhere, and we don't want to disrupt the system. That is why government has been riding on the union. And thank God this is, yes, on the understanding of the union. But thank God this is affecting all the unions on campus now. Our government
across Nigeria,
across Nigeria, so especially the federal government, have not done anything at all. Some state governments are even better than federal government, and the federal government was the one that set up all these committees that enter into agreement with the unions. I just want to conclude that subsequent governments has not been sincere. Maybe because of the corruption, they have been budgeting for these things since 2009. They will tell us, wait, in the next budget we are going to do this. They put the money there. But at the end of the day, we will not know where that money has entered. Then we continue the struggle again. That has been what has been happening since 2009.
They will allocate money. But,
they will allocate money.
But within the system
we
itself,
don't know how they will spend that money.
Government itself is not so sincere. How much money are they allocating? UNESCO World Standard stated that 26% of annual budget of a country should be for education.
Well, yes. We've never been able to meet any of those targets.
All, the best
if you want
the
to go
country
to health,
has done
it's the same.
It's not even more than 10%, 11%. That's the best they've done. And even when these funds are even being allocated to universities, do they have mechanism for monitoring this money? They don't. This corruption that we are talking about right now, our members are the whistleblowers in most of the universities. Most of these vice chancellors in connivance with government officials, they've been draining the university. The money that was supposed to be used to provide facilities, teaching aids, and also to pay salaries. Sure. Government will bring money, they will say there is shortfall in salaries. So whatever they generated internally, they claim that they use it to also substitute for the payment of the salaries. And these salaries, there are other things. Aside from the basic salary, there are other end allowances that are supposed to be accrued to every member every month.
When the body of unions, the three of them also, when they gave this 5-day warning strike, between that time and when you started the strike, day before yesterday, when it really commenced, there must have been conversations going on with government. That's the question I asked that Shegun didn't get to answer. What was government's attitude?
You can see the insincerity in the part of government. If since 2009 we've been on this
insincerity
issue.
No, I mean, far be it for me to hold brief for government, but so many different things because of the recession that hit us, because of the planning that, the whole government itself, the whole economy
before
itself.
The recession hit Nigeria, before 2009, we were in plenty. Why has government refused? Why have they refused to implement what they freely entered into?
Yeah,
they were the one that entered
it's not
into
good
this
enough
agreement.
That the economy hit us because it's affecting every aspect of our life. The recession and all of that.
Government knows when they were going into this agreement. Do you know that most of these people that signed this agreement with us, look at the state governors, look at the political leaders. They allocate what they allocated to themselves at the end of their tenure. Probably a governor served 8 years. After 8 years, you get a home in your state of origin. You still get a home of about 700 million naira worth in Abuja.
Okay.
You get 6 cars. Okay. You get paid for life. That's you get pension.
So there's no austerity over there. It's the way you are looking at it.
And
that's the way you're looking at it.
And they should also have the feeling, human feeling for others. They should not be self-centered. It should not be all about themselves alone. Political leaders are so self-centered and they are very wicked in their own thinking and in their implementation.
Okay, we got to go on a quick break now. Don't go anywhere, please. We'll be right back, and we'll take your calls as well. Okay, we're looking at the non-academic staff unions strike within the universities. It's pan-Nigeria. We'll be talking about it. It's principally, as they say, because an agreement entered into with them back in 2009 hasn't been, completed yet. We've just heard this morning that generous estimates of the rate of completion would be in the region of 40%. But it's not just talk, it's not just activism. Violence is also beginning to erupt in some instances following from all of this. I understand that in Akure, FUTA, the Federal University of Technology in Akure, and FUNAB, that's the Federal
University of Agric.
Of Agric in Abeokuta, not to mention some other areas.
University of Abuja.
What's that about? Members being arrested, violence? Tell me about that a bit.
I think what is happening about this corruption, when these people managing the fund of the university are being exposed by members of SANU, that is why they are arresting them. They have alerted the EFCC about the mismanagement of the fund in FUTA, Akure, and the EFCC have invited the Vice Chancellor. In view of that, people that is in power, they have to use their power to oppress the less privileged. That is why they have...
That's the impression the union has?
No, that is what is happening on
okay.
ground.
That they are being oppressed.
Oppressed, yes.
And they want to suppress
they want to suppress. So they have to arrest, use police to arrest
propaganda.
Our SANU members.
Some were sacked. Were some dismissed?
Yes, that is
was
in FUNAB.
And right now in
but
Abuja.
With a struggle, they have been forced to recall them. But they have not left them alone. They are still using one way or the other to victimize them. But the union will not stop by putting torchlight on all these people that are hitting their money, the canker worms that are hitting to the money that is supposed to be used to develop the university system.
Now I asked the question whether in the 5-day period, how impressed were you with what government had to say, or did they ignore you?
This government, everybody knows this government, that they will not act until everything is getting out of hands. If they have been calling...
You're talking about the way governments used to be.
No, when
you said everybody knows this government.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Okay, maybe that has been their practice.
That's the way Bible governments have been.
Because if this warning is given, I think about 35 days notice we are giving to the government. The 35 days notice expired. No calling, no meeting. Now, the 5 days has commenced since Monday now. Up to now, they have not been calling the national, because it's not just a local something. It's a national.
And if they're going to be reacting to you, they will be calling the national
They will
body.
call the national. And immediately they call the national will get back to
Everybody
the branches.
Will know.
So, but let's stay and wait. Let them complete these 5 days, because we don't pray that any bad thing happens to our education system. But all that we have to depend on those people that are leading us at the federal level.
Well, we all know
this is a 5-day strike.
We all know the
it started yesterday.
Of
it's a 5-day strike.
We started since Monday.
On Monday, and it's a 5-day strike.
5 days.
Warning strike. This is just the warning strike.
Okay.
5 days.
5-day warning strike.
After this warning strike and government remain insensitive to our plight, we will now go into a full-scale strike. This is just a warning strike.
If necessary. Hopefully it won't be necessary.
Well, we hope government will do the needful.
Because the last thing we need is to shut down the university.
Let's hope government will do the needful. The last time, we tried to get government involved into implementing this 2009, there was so much propaganda. Government was saying SANU was trying to, so much propaganda about the issue. Part of what we are talking about is also the provision of infrastructural facilities for even the students in the school. We are not really fighting. It's not all about us alone. It's also about the students that come into the school.
The infrastructure aids, that they will need.
Teaching aids are not even there.
Let me bring in someone from home. Mr. George, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yeri.
Thank you for calling in.
Yes, your guests are saying something interesting. Why they are protesting non-payment of allowances, they themselves have said certain things that struck me, which ought to make them do what I can call self-check. They said that corruption is the reason why funds that have been released before does not reach them. That means it is home this fight should start from. They should hold their vice chancellors or people responsible for the use of funds in their universities responsible. This strike should have been against those people. For example, I recall that in Jonathan's, President Jonathan's era, he gave 200 billion naira to university teachers after they went on strike for about 8 months. No, today, nobody has accounted how that money has been used. This is the kind of strike I expected the people in front of you to be striking against. That money has been given to us, no accountability. We don't know how it has been spent, and we want this vice chancellor or that vice chancellor to be held responsible.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. George. One moment, comrade. I'll come to you. Maybe to take a stab at that point.
I think that is what we are saying, and that is what is happening in about these 3 or 4 universities that we have mentioned now. That we are protesting that the little, we are saying government has not released enough, but the little they release, how have you been managing it? And that is why I said at the beginning of this thing that some of our members are being brutalized by police in Futa. It's because they are questioning the authority of the university, that the money you have, how do you spend it? The same thing happened in Funab, Abeokuta, because people are saying the little government is giving you, how have you been spending it?
Exactly.
So the question my brother there is asking is what the union is doing, and that is why they are suspending and using police to brutalize our members. It's not that as if the union has been sleeping on campus.
Okay.
Well, let's thank the last caller. He is really on point. And basically part of the reason why we are here this morning is also to make the world to know what is going on in our university. Misappropriation of funds is going on in most of our universities.
Yeah, but that has to be proved. That has to be proved.
Yeah, because it was proved by our members.
Well,
yeah, about
if it was proved, then whoever was responsible for the misappropriation will not be in place.
Sir, in 3 of the universities, the whistleblowers were our members, because our members work in the bursary unit of the university, and they see the trend of how this money is being spent. White elephant projects are going on in the universities, and even those ones, the monies that are unaccountable for.
When you say,
so our members now wrote letters to EFCC intimating them about what was going on in their university. They were whistleblowers, and EFCC arrested these vice chancellors, asked them to make statement, and the facts. Our members also back up their claims with facts and figures
and documentation.
And that was what led to the arraignment of the vice chancellor and even the governing council chairman of FUNAB in the court recently. And it also led to the resignation of the governing council chairman of FUNAB. That's former minister Adesegun Ogunlewe. He resigned because of that. You know, our members alleged that 800 million was misappropriated at FUNAB. Not only that, at Akure,
well, I like the word you used, alleged.
Alleged, yes, it is still an allegation. Not until proven guilty or not. But the facts and figures and also documents were also used to back up their claims.
Okay, let me hear Mr. Ajayi, who's calling in from Akoka. I don't know if he's in the university community. Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. What the union officers say, they are very right.
Are you part of the union system, university system?
Right. Well, I can say I'm a union as a member of the university system.
Okay.
Because what the union officer says, they are very right. Since they are on strike now, let the federal government set up committee on the all federal universities and the other universities. In the way they spend their money, the funds sent to the universities, Let them see what is happening.
So you also feel that there's some hanky-panky going on within the university administrations?
I believe, since they said the federal government released billions of naira, then let them ask how the rest spend the money spent to the university system before the union now start industrial action.
Okay.
Our children resume. They cannot allow them to teach. Those people who are on strike now, they are the ones to teach the children. Please, let the federal government send committee, the task force to enter the university to find out the way they spend the money.
Sure. Okay. Thank you very much for calling in, Mr. Ajayi. Clearly, this is one side of the story. No doubt, those in administration will probably have their version of the story. That's what it's all about, right?
At Akure right now, 20 of our members have been hospitalized because of brutalization of policemen this morning.
At the instance of the
administrators
who invited them
yes,
in, maybe to maintain order or whatever.
Well, if they want to maintain law and order, then those who are supposed to be protecting the citizens, they are not supposed to be the one brutalizing the citizens. They're supposed to be protecting the citizen, not brutalizing and injuring them. 20 of our members have been hospitalized in Futa as I'm talking to you now.
Which is
more than 50 of them are also have also had different categories of injury.
Which is hardly helping the situation. Let me go on another quick break and we'll be back. Stay with us, please. Welcome back. My guests, comrades Odusanwo and Sesi of the university's non-teaching staff system, and speaking on the 5-day warning strike. Mr. Figo, I understand, has been holding on. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling in. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you. Oh, I lost him. Sorry about that, Mr. Figo. See if you can call in again. My mind just goes back to Mr. George's point from Ikeja that why don't you guys deal primarily, and you said that where we have, and that's what's been leading to a bit of trouble within the system. You cite instances where there have been altercations between security forces that were called in by them. You haven't heard from, again, you said that right up to when you commenced the 5-day strike from the beginning, 35 days ago when the announcement was made, nobody even gave you any, nobody said, come, let's talk.
None yet.
Well, government is always appealing, and their appeal can never be enough for our demand, because this agreement has been on and signed by them since 2009. So they've been appealing, we've been, taking it easy.
But they've also been meeting you some of the way, if not half, but some of the way. So you see intention, but you are saying that if anybody thinking like that doesn't understand it.
That should be your judgment, that they've been meeting us some
okay, so
that should be your judgment.
Whoever speaks like that doesn't understand what's going on.
At all, we believe that government has not done enough at all. Because if government believes that this country has to move forward, education is one of the very important thing that government should spend its money on.
So is health, for example.
Health.
So is the economy, for example.
Exactly.
In other words, the point being that there's so many places that we need to expend funds, and all we're just saying is that, I imagine that's how government is talking, is that, look, understanding, please.
Government is not sincere. The sincerity is government is they are only preaching about corruption. How many people have you seen that government has really has really penalized or has really what? Well,
taking on.
On corruption. How many people has gone to prison because of
Look at the whole conflagration in the judiciary. When you said how many people, as if they're not doing anything.
Well, if they are doing anything, what they are doing is not even enough at all to convince us that government is actually against corruption. How many people have been sentenced? Even the judiciary that you are talking about, government is also after them. And we believe that most of the thing is politically staged, Because when you read about this issue, government is going for one judge or whatever, they will come out that this is just political being state managed, that this person is not corrupt. Those who are corrupt, government knows them, and they should go for them, and they should also do what? They should also penalize them.
You know, it seems to me, Shegun, that there's a crisis of confidence, because it's clear from the way we are hearing you guys.
Why will government be appealing to us since 2009?
You don't believe in his sincerity.
No, please let us look at it from this angle.
Okay.
If government is sincere, we entered into an agreement in 2009, which was supposed to be reviewed in 2012. It was not reviewed. In 2017, you are now saying you are setting up another committee to come and review, renegotiate agreement. The agreement that has not been implemented. I think they are taking all the unions on campus as a fool. Because if you are not taking us as a fool, if you have not concluded the implementation of 2009 agreement, then you want to renegotiate the agreement that has not been implemented. What are we renegotiating?
So
is it the 2009 that has not been implemented that we want to renegotiate?
So it's
or another one?
It's becoming
About
almost like the Yoruba Arodon concept.
So
almost,
like that.
you know.
Taking this for granted.
Okay.
They are not sincere.
Mr. Jobos? Good morning. Is there Mr. Jobos there?
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, salute to the comrades.
Comrades, you're being saluted.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I want to say to this, from the angle of the federal government. Yeah, I think this government is fighting corruption. And most of the top officials are really corrupt. Most especially, most of the ministers, they are corrupt. They will say something and they will not follow it. Yeah, and how can this
Mr. Jobos, how can you say what you are saying, that most of the ministers are actually corrupt?
We Nigerians know. You know, sir. Most of the top officials, they are very, very corrupt. Yeah, let's come down to the issue of Lautech, sir.
Sure.
Yeah, Lautech now. Do you know what happened to Lautech? We have like 3.8 billion naira that was supposed to support the school. The state university, Osun State, dropped 50 million naira out of 3.8 billion naira, and Oyo State dropped 500 million out of 3.8 billion naira. That means it remains like 3 billion naira. So, and our journalists, they've called the commissioner for health and the deputy governor in Osun State. She did not pick the call. She don't want to talk to them. And this is because most of them, they don't have their children schooling in Nigeria. Most of their children are not schooling in Nigeria. I think if a law can happen, if a law can be passed in abroad there, that none of Nigerian officials or none of Nigerian politicians should come to their country to school, I think they will come back and do the right thing in Nigerian educational sector.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Mr. Jobos. Appreciate your call. Really appreciate your call. The question, the point that George from Ikeja brought up, being that why don't you just really concentrate all your action within the university system that has received the funds? You spoke about white elephant projects, not that they're not receiving funds, but as far as you are concerned, that's not the way to spend these funds.
We also know that government has not done enough for the university system as
but
well.
It's a double bind. Number one, they've not done enough.
Yes.
Number two, that which they have done, the administrators are spending it on allegedly
then we
white
have to
projects.
hold the two people responsible. We have to hold government, and also we have to hold our administrators.
But if you don't hold your administrators well first, then whatever else government brings
is why we have
will continually be, according to you, frittered.
I'm coming, Mr. Yori. This is why our members who have been convinced enough and who have the document, they've written the EFCC, and let the EFCC do the necessary things by making sure that those with the document and also with the evidences, let them prosecute the vice chancellor, and let us see. if government will be in the support of the prosecution and not, then we will know that government too is only preaching about corruption, but is with the lips and not really after fighting corruption. Not only that, we are not really fighting about the earned allowances alone. We are also talking about poor funding. That is the poor funding from government. Then the little one that we said they bring into the university, that is misappropriated, mismanaged.
Okay.
Then we talk about
one moment,
poor
please.
Infrastructure.
Yes, you mentioned that. Mr. Maxwell, he's holding on. He's in Ghana and wants to join this conversation. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Yori.
Thank you very much for calling in. Please go ahead.
Okay. I will support the non-teachers varsity workers, yes, because if strike is the only language the federal government understands, let them do it.
Okay. That's it. Short and sharp. Thank you. He's gone.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate that, look, if the strike is a strike action is the only language that government understands, that's not going to be their perspective, right? That's not going to be their perspective. But you just got a vote of support from that was a Nigerian voice coming in from Ghana. That was that we know ourselves. That was the Nigerian voice calling in from Ghana.
Well, we know.
Mr. Yori, I think that the last caller, that person, even though he's not in Nigeria, knows this.
He's still a Nigerian
very well.
Yes.
Because like we said, 7 years since 2009 till this time, it's about seven years, and they are not doing what is expected of them. You can let your people come into campus. You see a lot of these students. If 50 is inside, about 60 will be outside, taking lectures from the windows. These are part of those things that we are asking for. Let them expand the lecture room. Let people be comfortable while they are receiving lectures. Let them have enough teaching aids, everything for these students to make things convenient for them. But government is not doing that.
Our libraries are nothing to write home about. The books that are in the library are obsolete and not conforming with the present age.
Which is not good. Let me bring in Blessing. Blessing calling in from Okpebi. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Mr. Yori. Happy New Year.
Indeed, compliments of the season to you. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Mr. Yori, before we can argue further, can you tell me the amount that they budget in 2017 on education? Can you figure it out? That is one. Two, everything that they are discussing there, in fact, is real. Don't even go far. Go to Yaba Tech here. You will see Spartan students. They will hold their torchlights. Because they can be receiving lecture and light went up, they will just on torchlight in Nigerian institutions. Why the government will not even take our university serious is that, please, let's do this censor from the president to councillor. Let's ask them, where is their children? Which school are they attending? So before we can move forward, because none of their children is attending this school, so it doesn't even matter to them. So that is my own.
Thank you very much, Madam Blessing, for calling in. We always come to this point where, look, if there was some system where the things that you are protesting about were to be affecting everybody equally, then it wouldn't be as bad as this. Yes. But we've heard this charge that there's a sort of wicked looking away simply because some people can afford to send their children, their wards out of the country, even to Ghana. Wherever, anywhere but Nigeria.
Here, just here.
Yeah.
It's an insult to Nigeria, giant of Africa. Let the government declare what we call emergency in educational sector right now.
There's no place we don't need an emergency. For me, if you, I mean,
I know.
there's
Go
no
to our
place.
hospitals. People are sleeping on the bed floor.
And
even when you take your patients to the hospital, they say there is no bed.
No bed.
No bed. No bed. That's what they say. And when you even get there, sometimes the drugs are not even there for you.
Mayor from Ajawa State, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Happy New Year, sir.
Thank you for calling. Compliments.
Sir, please, the government is so insensitive about, I'm a student, and the government is so insensitive about education.
What's your school?
My school, I school at Lautech. And you can see the whole hulabaloo about everything. Really
as a Lautech student, what the unionists have been saying this morning Can you verify that it is so or not so?
Everything that woman has said and that man has said, all those comments have said, are exactly what is happening in the school system. There should be a law preventing all these our leaders from sending their children abroad. I've been at home for 8 months now, and you can imagine the insensitive about everything. It's so painful.
Wait a minute, you just said you've been at home for 8 months. Did I hear that right?
Yes, that's at Lautech.
At Lautech.
Sure.
He's gone.
No, that is what is happening in Lautech.
2 states are holding the jubilee of the university, and they've been making troubles. You understand?
Well, but just by the way, as a quick aside, what's the problem with Lautech that they've been at home, that the student is been shut for what, 8 months?
2 states
no, funding.
Oh, okay.
Funding. They can't fund.
And there has been problems about funding.
Oh, okay. So who's going to pick up the tab?
I hope and I feel one state should just let go and just allow a state to hold the university. I don't know how they are going to do it.
Let's go.
For 2 states to own a university is actually causing troubles.
Well, 2 friendly states can own a university.
If they are friendly,
okay.
as you rightly put it.
Let's go on a quick break, the last one, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, please. Okay, welcome back. Still have, concerned unionists that the universities are going down the drain because government has not been up and doing. Government will agree something with you, they won't follow through, and that is the case in particular in this instance where we're in the middle of a 5-day strike. The agreement goes back to 2009, which the unions like to emphasize. Government entered into freely. You entered into it freely. You were not cajoled. So why are you not able to deliver? Money, I'm sure it's going to be money. But my producers tell me that education, the budgets, it came up somewhere in the region of 50 billion was the allocation. And for UBE, 92 billion. What arrives, the allocation is one thing. What actually lands in the university system is another. And then what is done with what has arrived is yet another. And that seems to be the problem now.
UB, that's the universal basic education. That's for the primary, basically the secondary education.
Which, if they don't do, these people will be talking to them
that's
too.
The foundation. That's the foundation. And the foundation must be right. Because if the foundation is not right, then we didn't get it right. If the head is not right, the whole body will not be okay. So for the tertiary institution is about the 50 billion. And that is exactly what we've been saying. That the 50 billion government claim they have spent or they have put into the university system. Not in the state universities, but that is for the federal universities. How has government been able to prove actually that is written on the paper? But we are not sure that is this 50 billion that was actually given to the federal university.
We hear you.
They will put something in the paper and it's another thing that will go in. And as it
Austin,
goes in, the manager, it goes in.
Calling in from Ondo town. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Yori.
Thank you for calling in. Good morning.
Yeah, I think my own take on this issue. Hello?
You don't want to listen to yourself. Please just go ahead. Don't worry about the talkback, the feedback.
Okay. Yeah, what I'm saying is this. The unionists in front of you have really done well. Probably they are fighting for the future leaders. Okay? Well, what we are saying is this. Several money have been paid to universities by the federal government, but we have some people who have actually taken away that money. They've not taken proper use of that money. And not until one is punished over it, this thing will keep repeating itself. The union members are actually doing what will favor Nigerians because they know the people in the university now are the leaders of tomorrow. But since there's no adequate, there's no class for students to learn, there's nothing, normal things that the students need are not in place. So how will they cope? So not until one is punished over it. And when you look at most of our leaders, they don't even have their own children in the universities. So I think until the corruption is being fought to the roots, there will be no solution.
Okay.
That's my take. God bless Nigeria.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Mr. Austin, calling in from Ondo Town. Well, when you look at it, it's a 5-day warning strike, and as has been said earlier, if there's nothing, then you look at taking the gloves off and getting down to bare knuckles. Well, we hope it doesn't come to that. But I'm just, if you haven't been contacted from the time when you announced the impending 5-day strike, yes, and now the 5-day strike has continued, has started, and it's just from Monday to Friday. Are you optimistic that government is going to do anything?
Well, thank God that people are very sensitive to what is happening.
And they seem supportive.
Yeah, and people are already seeing the insincerity of government. Let Nigerians, we are calling out on Nigerians, and we are also calling out.
I don't know that we've said anything about seeing insincerity of government. There may be challenges of government, maybe.
Well, maybe it's the way you are putting it. It's insincerity, because if government is sincere, the office is a continuous one. Since year 2009 to 2017, definitely they don't want to do anything. And not only that, our members are dying. When our members retire from work, their pensions are not being paid by the universities. Yes, they are being withheld by university. For years, they will retire, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and nothing
is happening.
Is happening to take
Mr. Okiki from Ekpe, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Yori.
Thank you for calling in.
My regard to the comrade.
Okay, thank you.
Honestly, let me say that it affects education sector. We have these people, this Kakawa, all as our leader. Apart from that, I want to tell you that. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Hello, we can hear you. I think we lost him. We lost him. But that was that was another supportive call. And people seem to be, reiterating Fumi's, line about insincerity.
Sure. Yes. Most of the provosts, most of the colleges of education, most of the rectors, most of the vice chancellors, they believe that they are playing mini gods. They are playing mini gods.
Okay.
And it shouldn't be like that.
Okay. What I would just want to say at this point is to appeal to every well-meaning Nigerians, because, like I said at the beginning, we are all parents, and we have our children in all these tertiary institutions. We don't want a total breakdown of the system. So I want to use this opportunity to appeal to every well-meaning Nigeria that are very close to the seat of government, to talk to them so that they can open their ears and then do what is needful, so that education system will not collapse in Nigeria. That is just my appeal at this time, because I know
that's on the one hand about the education system, and also the fact that it is people, human beings of flesh and blood, that are working within those systems. Yes. And a laborer is worthy of his wages and all of that. But you are saying that, look, you're owed money for yourselves, but that's not the only matter.
Is that not part of what I just said now? After working for 35 years and you want to go home, you retire. They retire you. Immediately you clock 60, 65 for your age. They ask you to go. But where is the gratuity? Where is the pension? They fail to give. Not only that, industrial court recently just passed a judgment and said the teachers in the primary school of the university, because the primary school are the demonstration school. They use the primary school, that's the faculty of education of each university, use the primary school as their teaching ground. Yes.
Mr. Kamoru is on the line. Good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. How are you?
Good morning, sir. Thanks for calling in.
I've been trying to get you all this while. This is my first time.
Today is your day. I'm glad you got in.
How are you, sir? Sir, the problem is that people have not really identified what the problem is.
Okay.
Remember during Obasanjo regime, university went on strike for a very long time. Why? Obasanjo is having a university. Atiku has university. They kill all the public schools to enrich their own university. And that is what all government officials are doing. They are all opening schools. All the schools they are opening, they kill the public school and why the private schools are on. That's the reason why, whether you like, you can go on strike for all they care. They don't care. These people are very wicked people. Senators are having schools. PAMSEC directors, look at the former AIG. He has a school in really. So if you people are going on strike, you are not going on strike. I praise the courage of the comrades for doing all they are doing.
Indeed.
Our government officials are very wicked. This is just the truth.
Thank you.
Mr.
Very much.
Folani, if this government, by the time they were coming in, when we ushered in this present government, they came with a propaganda that they come with a government of change. And we were...
They came with a program.
Well, maybe that's their program. They said it's a government of change.
Okay.
That there will be change in so many areas, so many things.
Propaganda is not very nice.
That should be a propaganda, because if by now nothing is happening, and even the people are even suffering for this change. It's not a change for the better. It's a change for the worst.
Oh dear.
So what type of change does this government brought to us? Change of inflicting pains and more deep pains into the fabrics, brains of the people, of the masses.
I hear you.
That is what...
I hear you, but at least Comrade, you yourself and Comrade Odusanwo have said that it's the way our governments have been. But you would then have expected a government that arrives on a platform of change will not do the same.
They said change. Have they also changed the system? They are also towing the same line. Even their own is the worst. This government should change for the better, not for the worst. I'm saying it.
Yes.
They should change for the better. Look at the dollar now. Look at the pound sterling. How much is a pound sterling to a dollar? When they were taking over the government, how much was a dollar? 160 naira. So now it's 400 and something naira. A dollar to a naira.
This warning strike will end on Friday. And if you are not happy at the attitude of the authorities, you might now begin to think about something more.
Well, the federal government, they said they are prostrating, they are begging. We don't want their begging, because they are insensitive to our plight. Rightly, as the last speaker have said, all of them have schools. Those who did not register their school in their name, they use their cronies, to register their properties and their names. They have properties spread all over the world.
So they don't really care is the allegation.
They should no
longer don't care about what's going on in public university.
They should no longer take
We've
us
completely run out of
time. They have pushed us to the wall.
Thank you very much.
They have pushed us to the wall.
I know you're a passionate comrade. I know. I hear you.
I just pray there will be no revolution in this country. Let us pray.
Amen. Thank you very, very much. And Comrade Odusanwo Olusegun, immediate past chair of Senior Staff Association of Nigeria Union in UNILAG, as well as Comrade Sesi, and she's Chairman Political Committee of the NLC Lagos State Council. We'll be back tomorrow, God willing, with a fresh edition. I'm Yori Folani. Bye-bye for now.